All right, students in Metro Atlanta heading back to class today and the rest of the week, and the pressure is already building between earlier mornings, packed calendars, rising costs, and the pressure to get everything right. A lot of parents are starting the year already running on empty, and new research shows just how heavy that load has become. The U.S. Surgeon General reports nearly half of parents feel overwhelmed most days. Last year, the Kids Mental Health Foundation reported that once school starts, close to 2 out of 3 parents report more stress. They say schedules and routines become the biggest strain, and parents are paying for it with their own time here. Now, this information in this study out this year showed that 40% of millennial parents are giving up sleep, while close to half are sacrificing personal time or hobbies. Tricia Pease, Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of Serenity Mental Health Centers, joining us this morning with some ways to keep that stress from becoming burnout. So Tricia, we spent a lot of time talking about kids back to school, their own nerves. Why can this transition also be pretty hard for parents as well?
Yeah, when you think about what parents are doing, they're juggling a lot of things, getting their kids back to school and trying to help the kids have success. You think about the schedules, the transportation, extracurricular activities, everyone trying to eat healthy, make sure their kids have enough clothes, supplies, and all of the sports things that can all add a financial burden as well. And so it's easy to let all of those things add up, and parents can forget to prioritize their own mental well-being.
And Tricia, I gotta admit, I had the first day of school jitters myself the night before. I didn't sleep well. I wanted to make sure I got everything right for her first day of kindergarten, didn't forget anything. I had to order the back to school cute little sign at 8:30 the night before because I forgot it. Is this gonna kind of subside? What's the difference between the normal first week chaos and that stress becoming something more serious to pay attention to?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we all understand that as parents, your brain is thinking of 15 different things at any given time, trying to make sure you're planning ahead, not forgetting your back to school sign, all those little things that matter for our kids to feel loved and supported. And so just getting into a really good routine, and it doesn't have to be complicated, simple is great. But just being able to build that routine, and that's where transitions are hard for all of us. That's normal. And so just keeping in mind as you're going through that transition, have something you're working towards, like a schedule that makes sense for everyone. And then if you find yourself just getting to a place where that constant worry and stress and difficulty sleeping or things like that become chronic, that's the word we like to use. If it's just not going away, then pay attention to that, because we don't want you feeling anxious all the time. We don't need that burden as parents. We need to be able to still enjoy the time we have with our kids.
And you kind of touched on it here. Why are parents so quick to dismiss their own warning signs, some of the ones that you just listed there? And how can we address them without making our kids feel like they're to blame?
Yeah, it's a great question, because we know that kids are super intuitive and they recognize what we're going through. And so if they feel like they're the cause of our stress, they're going to internalize that and they're going to stress. And then we get into this cycle of we're worrying about worrying. And it's okay to have stress. What's really important is that we show our kids how to manage stress, and we teach them coping skills. We show them that we can take change in stride and that it's going to be okay. And I think a lot of that's just setting realistic expectations in this world of social media and all the pressure to look perfect. I think we can, as parents, set expectations that are not always realistic. And so just taking a step back sometimes and saying what really does matter. It's relationships with our kids. It's feeling good about getting up tomorrow. And so what will really help us is keeping in mind the things that matter and setting our goals in a realistic way so we don't always feel overwhelmed.
All right, what can the schools do to make the transition easier? We got about 30 seconds left, because the 5 apps that's not the way.
No, I believe that simple things, know what's coming, plan ahead with your kids, and communicate, and you're going to be great.
All right, Tricia Pease, thank you so much for putting us a little bit at ease and taking a moment for ourselves. Wishing all the parents out there a great first week back in a great school year. Thanks for being with us.